Hello, collective. Welcome to the Moon Report. Welcome to the total eclipse new moon. This is definitely something that we have been feeling, I'm sure, and it's happening in Aries. My name is Marlene. I am the modern mystic, your resident moon goddess, and the best-selling author of Wisdom in Bloom. I'm so excited as always to share space with all of you. And if you're in the Anima Collective, you're always invited to join live and hang out with me and other members of the collective while we discuss the moon vibes and hang out after the report. So you're always invited to check the events tab in Mighty Networks, and you'll always find a Zoom link there. So, any other announcements besides a very intense new moon in Aries? I don't think I have time for other announcements. I have so much information for you guys, and I'm going to take it step by step because there are so many things happening at the same time and after. So, we're not out of the woods just yet, and I'll explain why. So, diving right in, the new moon happened in Aries at 2:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same time, more or less. I think the total solar eclipse was at 2:17 p.m. Eastern Standard, but more or less at the same time this amazing aspect happen. And it's always been, that eclipses carry this mystery to them. And, we've always heard of like, don't look into an eclipse and thing weird shit happens around an eclipse and things change around an eclipse. And all of these things are really true. And it resonates at such a high vibration. And the shifts and the changes are so quick that it could really throw us off balance. It could be super uncomfortable. And when you throw a Mercury retrograde into the mix, how we have now, then things get just super intense and super confusing. So I'll take it all step by step and explain as best as I can what the aspects mean. We are now on the other side of an eclipse portal. Um, we were up to today at just 30 minutes ago inside of this bubble between eclipses. And the intensity of that builds because it happens on the moon's nodes. So the moon's nodes are like gateways or portals into our past, our present, and future timelines. And it's very mysterious as well because these aren't planets, but they do really mark our destiny as a collective and personally in our natal charts. Whenever we, get an astrological reading, we read the map that, you have personal to you, your natal chart when you were born. So we all have these nodes that are determining several timelines in our life. The past lives with our South Node, and the collective South Node happens to be in Libra right now, where we had our last eclipse on the full moon. And now this total solar eclipse is happening in Aries, where the North Node is. And the North Node indicates where we're going collectively, what our destiny is. What is it that we have to learn? What is the greatest lesson right now that we need to embrace as a humanity? And this is really marking a, you know, portal, I would say, of energy that is available to you. So you may be feeling super weird. You may be feeling or dreaming weird things. You may be struggling sleeping. Maybe you're sleeping a lot. Whatever it is, try to embrace it. Try to take it in because around this time, things get wonky. And the more you kind of go with the flow and just take care of your body, the better everything seems to flow. And we will get the answers that we're searching for. We're just not there yet. There's too much confusion. And in these, nodes is where these eclipses happen. So what is being kind of shown to us is that this is a time for us to step forward to where we're trying to go. This is definitely a future oriented eclipse because it's happening in the North Node. So, what are you looking forward to? Where is it that you're headed, and who are you becoming? And who are you now? Has that changed? Is that changing? Do you even know? And if you don't, that's cool. Right now, it's really cool if you don't know anything because we don't have all the information. It's not available to us yet. We are in a dark moon. We are in a new moon. And usually moons are about setting new intentions, new moons especially, setting new intentions, new beginnings. This new moon, I will not recommend to send forth any intentions because we don't have the information. That not only has to do with the eclipses, but the Mercury retrograde that we'll talk about in a sec. And there are things that are still coming to light. We're heading towards a Jupiter and Uranus conjunction later in the month, mid-month, and there will be more revelation, more awakening. And it's really, really a time to, if we are looking towards the future, and Aries is a very driven, independent, courageous sign, initiatory, tons of passion, tons of drive, and it wants to go where it wants to go. So there is that urgency of I shouldn't procrastinate. I shouldn't stop what I'm doing. I shouldn't, but during a Mercury retrograde and a total solar eclipse, there isn't a lot of clarity. So instead of setting forth new intentions, continue to work at what you're working at now with passion and drive, and plan for things that may be coming in as new ideas, maybe not to set them forth tomorrow, but write them down and think them through. Take your time with them. There is a conjunction to Chiron, which is an asteroid that is referred to as the wounded healer. So there's a lot of available growth with this moon because of this conjunction. And when I say conjunction, is like when two planets are together within 5 degrees of each other or less, and they're having a conversation about how they relate. And Aries and Chiron are bringing up a lot of things in terms of our, maturity and our boundaries, especially in relationships. And I know we've been talking about relationships, but here we are still talking about relationships because it's going to come up in terms of what you need to mature through, what you need to heal through. Are there any toxic relationships that finally need to go? And this kind of, we've been sweeping through relationships. Like, oh, is that working for me? Oh, you know, and this is kind of like one of those things where now it's coming for a resolution. We're bringing it home. And those relationships that you have been on the fence about, they will be coming up for adjustment or to be finished or to evolve in some way. And we need to be okay with that because if this is happening right now, it has to do with all things Aries. It has to do with your independence. It has to do with your maturity. It has to do with your self-preservation when you're in relationships and how you don't overgive who you are, overdo things that you don't need to do, where you know where your limitations and your healthy boundaries are. And again, this is the first, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So there's a lot of initiatory energy here. And if you're a cardinal sign, Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, you're going to be feeling it the most. Cardinal signs are going to be feeling it super hard. And it's time to face ourselves. Oh, Cancer sun, Cancer moon. I'm a Cancer sun too. So, and a Libra rising. So you're getting it in all big threes. If you're an astro enthusiast, look at your natal chart. See where this eclipse is happening in your natal chart. For example, for me, it's in the area, it's in my fifth house. It's in the area of self-expression, of my creative expression. Look it up in your natal chart and see where it's happening for you. Awareness is always best when we're talking about astrology and, all things esoteric. It's to bring awareness into your life, really. Like it all starts with that awareness of like, oh, look, that's over there. And I didn't see it before. It was hiding in the shadows. And now it's in the light because of your awareness. So be okay with that right now. Be okay with being aware, being okay with seeing things that were hidden and are now coming to light. And get really clear with you in terms of who you are now, because we change all the time. We don't stay stagnant. And it's okay to take stock and say, hey, where is this version of me going? Or where is it that I want to go? And self-prioritize. It's you time. You first. North Node in Aries. And there's a reason for this. And the nodes shift every 18 months. So we don't always stay in the you first phase. Take advantage of the you first phase. There are lessons to be learned here. There are things to be cleared here. There's some housekeeping to do when you put yourself first and see how that feels. And then things will change and another phase will come and we'll move into that phase. But really like take these reports and apply them to your life now. Make them as relevant as you possibly can in the moment. Work through these themes that we discuss and take advantage of the energy that's supporting you and it's available to you. So keywords right now, revamp, um, restructure, restore, get some rest. If you're feeling tired, you're feeling tired. Get more rest. If you're feeling like, man, I can't sleep, well, maybe you're up at a certain time that you're usually not up because there's something available that's going to come through at that time for you. Maybe get up and grab a notebook and journal. I know that it's edgy and uncomfortable because I'm saying this all to you and I'm saying it to myself. because I have been irritated, I have been upset, and I don't know really why, honestly. I can't really put my finger on what exactly I'm upset about. And there's just all of this emotion running through me. Now, Mercury's in retrograde, as I mentioned before. And what that means is that when planets are in retrograde, they are appearing to move backwards in the sky. And they're there to teach us to slow down, to take stock, to pay attention to the details, to be extra like hyper, I don't want to say hyper vigilant, but when it comes to things that require a lot of detail, like contracts or agreements or long-term decisions, they should be avoided during this time. Because they say we may miss something, all the information is not available to us. Things will come to light, and after you've signed, that's like not good. So if you can avoid it, try to avoid those things. If not, then just be extra careful. Check once, check twice, check three times, ask a friend. Be really, really um, thorough with everything that you're doing. And right now, this Mercury retrograde is really playing into this entire theme of what are you going to do when you're on the other side of this? And it's really just that simple. It's like, what are you going to do and who are you? Right? And how are you going to bring that to others? And even though it's a Mercury retrograde, it really isn't time to procrastinate. And you may be feeling that urgency inside. Like, okay, I got to do something though, you know? And that's why I'm telling you to move forward with planning, move forward with, revamping. Maybe something needs to be reviewed that haven't wanted to do. Things from the past may also come up. Ex-lovers may call, friends that you haven't talked to in a long time, situations that you thought that were resolved, and boom, they're not. And this is not to, put any kind of fear in any kind of aspect like a eclipse or a retrograde. Really, it's necessary because we are very programmable as human beings. And if you just like let us like go, 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 sometimes we're not aware of what we're doing. And like sometimes I feel like these challenging times, these times when we're asked to slow down or we're asked to like review something or revamp a part of our career or a relationship or maybe a project or an idea that is going in one direction and all of the sudden is going in another. You know, there's always a greater mystery that our limited perception won't capture. And this is where our faith comes in. And faith to what? That's up to you. But having faith that not everything is as it seems, that you're not being shown exactly what's going on, and that you get to wait and you get to have patience and you get to take your time, and that that's okay, and you get to change your mind and you get to pivot and you get to be a new person and you get to like decide that. And maybe this is a person that you've always been and is now ready to come to the light with courage. These are all beautiful things that tend to be uncomfortable at some point. So I want to encourage you to keep going. Keep going because rest, don't quit. I want to quit sometime. I want to quit right now. I do. I'm having one of those days where I'm like, what's the point? But I know that it's that I'm not being shown what the point is just yet, and that I don't have to know what the point is just yet. And being okay in that space requires trust and faith. And I just want to let you know that if you find yourself in a space like that, you're not alone. And it's okay. It's okay to not know. Just breathe, do some yoga, take a bath, go for a walk, call a friend, have brunch, move your body. Right now, move your body, move that energy. Don't sit with it. It could create a lot of anxiety. All right, so we are out of Mercury retrograde on the 25th of April. We are in a Jupiter and Uranus conjunction on the 17th of April, and that is massive realization and more change. So again, don't get hung up on a lot of things. It will probably change. You will probably see something new. Allow, allow, allow. April is one of the craziest months this year, I would say. So the more you just kind of flow this month, the better it is for your nervous system and for your body and mind and spirit. So I think, I do want to offer you an affirmation. So if you have something to write with, I saw this in my little book and I thought it was really good. Okay, so new moon, here we go. I am fearless. I move through life with great courage, foresight, and determination. I am fearless. I move through life with great courage, foresight, and determination. These are very action-oriented things that can be done in a small scale. I am fearless. I move through life with great courage, foresight, and determination. So I just wish you peace during this time. I wish you patience and grace. Um, may your emotions come up gently, peacefully, and gracefully for resolution. And just know that we are always here to support you. I know I speak for the collective when I say lean into our events, lean into what we have to offer, because you find great wealth in being in a community like Anima Collective. And there's also support in practically anything that you are going through. So lean into the community. As always, I am here. Reach out to me at the Modern Mystique on IG, or marlenemenendez.com, or on Mighty Networks. And also, if there's any questions about any of the aspects that I talk about, I know I go pretty fast in these reports sometimes and I forget to go back. So if you have any questions, always I invite you to leave comments right under the moon report, and lean into conversations. If you're thinking something, another person is probably thinking the same thing. So I invite you to share and ask questions if you have them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tons of peace and joy. I will see you next time in the full moon. Ciao.
Thank you.